Hello everybody, this is my presentation of Mexico, rural to urban migration into the United States. I hope everybody enjoys it, and here it goes. My name is Franklin Ojon. It is December 3rd, 2017. The world knows what Trump has to say about the southern neighbors and his insistence on demarcating the line between them. Trump quotes, "I would build a great wall, and nobody builds walls better than me. Believe me, and I build them very inexpensively." Unquote. Rural to urban migration is the migration of people from countryside to large cities. This act ensures urban growth and urbanization. Urban growth is the expansion of towns and cities covering a large area. Urbanization is the increase of the population in towns and large cities, making that location more urban. Mexicans flocking to the United States like flies to a pot of honey significantly dates back to the Mexican-American War in mid-19th century and the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which ended the war and led to the settlement of the several thousands of Mexicans on U.S. soil. To further their use in the labor sector, they received special sanctions, which were later recalled post the Great Depression of 1929, following severe anti-immigration sentiments among the U.S. citizens. I found that kind of crazy. I mean, you let people into the States, come up with an agreement, but then you take it back. It's kind of odd, but all right. So there's significant events, and it dates back years before even me and you were born. There's a history in it. But why do Mexican immigrants flock to the United States? I'm pretty sure there's obvious reasons. People out there, some people know, some people don't. But there's a few that I found, and I would like to share with everybody. So the big attraction for these immigrants that are coming into the United States has to do a lot with the push and pull factors. The push factors in Mexico, they got the population pressure, poor infrastructure, inadequate job offers, bad educational chances, poor health care, ecological problems, natural disasters, social compulsions. And those are the push factors. The um, pull factors have to do kind of like what attracts them into the United States. And there's the improvement in standard of living, better health care and availability of services, varied employment opportunities. A lot of these immigrants come to the United States with hopes and dreams of, making it. Here in the United States, it's the land of the free. And there's big opportunities. We get higher wages, quality of education, no social compulsions, and future prospects. That has to do a lot with the migration of immigrants into the United States. The push and pull factors of the whole situation, the being pushed out and being pulled in to the United States. A lot of these immigrants have hardships, trials and tribulations. Mexican immigrants have the hardest time getting into the United States if they do not have the funds for an approved visa. Many Mexican immigrants choose very dangerous and sometimes fatal ways of getting into the States. What are some of the ways they get into the United States? Here's a few that I found, willing to share with you guys. A lot of the Mexican immigrants, they have a hard time getting into the United States. The majority of them don't have money to pay for coyotes to get into the United States, get them smuggled basically. But crossing the desert, It doesn't take much money, but it damn sure takes a lot of water, a lot of heart, a lot of determination. You know, you they kind of like see the light at the end of the tunnel, but that's um that's a long trip. You know, just pack up, get everything in your backpack, get some water, and try to walk across the desert. Just imagine doing that. It's very very strenuous, I would guess. Um, take a lot out of somebody. Swimming across the border, there's a little canal where the Mexican immigrants are able to cross over into the United States, swim, but it's kind of crazy, you know. I'm pretty sure the majority of uh, Mexican immigrants would possibly know how to swim. I'm pretty sure everybody eventually learns how to swim, but just the crossing in water, swimming across the water, finding some kind of flotation device to keep them afloat for that duration of time to swim across the water, get into the United States, and hopefully not get caught by the Border Patrol. That's very strenuous too. All right, like I said before, you know, a lot of these Mexican immigrants, they don't have money to be smuggled in more safely, so they got to go to extreme tactics of smuggling. I mean, look at the picture. This guy's straight up in the hood of a car, right by the engine. Man, that has to be one hell of a ride. um, these are just the hardships of the people willing to do that rural to urban migration into the United States. Once they get across that border, you know, once they get across the desert, get across the water, get across from smuggling, you know, possibly tunnels too. I've read in an article that they, you know, have these tunnels that they can go through, get into the United States. But the question, where do the majority of these undocumented Mexican immigrants end up? The majority of the undocumented immigrants end up in California in the west and Texas in the east. These two states have the highest number of Latino and Hispanic immigrants. You see from the map, the blue part that's the states, the blue states there. Uh, so that's states with 1.7 million or more immigrants. That's a lot of immigrants. But just to constantly think that they're still coming over here, and that's all a part of the rural to urban migration, the whole push and pull factor. Um, Over the years, this has been a whole process. The whole push and pull factor, the immigrants coming across. Even though immigrants are still migrating to the United States, there has been a decline in immigrants, surprisingly. California this year, 2017, has shown a tremendous decline. You know, there's that tremendous decline in the immigrants coming to the United States. Um, why? Big question is why. So I'll answer that in the next slide. You know, there's that huge decline, and from the articles I've read, it states that Mexico's economy is improving. Um, Also, the United States has produced tougher border patrol and migration laws. Um, as of now, there's fewer jobs in the United States, and also there's a change in the demographics. Mexico's rural to urban migration into the United States tells me that every human being in this earth deserves a chance for change. We as humans should give one another a chance for life-changing development. And if the migration of immigrants is risky to some, then we must find a way to set up something that is foolproof and safe for both sides. I mean, our neighbors to the south, they go through a whole lot just to get here. And I understand, you know, that a lot of people in the United States really don't approve of them being here. But, you know, I got room for them. At least my heart does. I'm a people person. I choose to give people and give them that chance to be themselves rather than judge them off top. But this is my report. I hope everybody that's watched it has enjoyed it as much as I have making it. Um, if you have any questions, leave them in the discussion below. I will be happy to respond to each and everybody's questions. Thank you. Have a wonderful day or evening.